North Andover to probably get stood up again to show an apartment because that's how people roll these days.
Oh no. Oh, gross. You're showing an
We'll see.
apartment?
Yeah, my friend Brian has an apartment I have listed for him. So this guy told me that his clocks were playing tricks on him on Thursday. So that's why he couldn't show up. So we'll see what happens today.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Is that Edgelon? Is that where you're going?
No, Osgood.
Osgood Street.
Across,
Oh, cool.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
across Amazon Center.
Yeah, those are nice units, right? That's good.
It's like its own building. It's in like a heating. There's just a giant hawk on the light. Uh, it's right next to the animal hospital in like a heating. I don't know, a heating company owns the building or something like that. I have no idea.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Total. I love it, dude. Welcome south. Welcome south. Hawks. We've been seeing lots and lots and lots of hawks recently. And some people can just say, oh, they're just in season. I'm looking it up right now, though, because I knew that one of them, I know it's a signal of power, obviously, but I haven't actually looked it up. Various Native American tribes understood the hawk as a messenger, bringing insight, discernment, and focus into our lives. The hawk represents clear vision, intuition, and the ability to swiftly rise above any challenges or obstacles in our way. Nice, Christina.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Andrea, it's like awesome to see you too. Do a little check-in, Andrea.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How about from you? One up, one down, and a win from you.
Ah, well, I was able to rest. That's a win for me.
You
I
get some
think.
rest? Good.
Yes. 'Cause I think I need that. What else? Well, nothing pretty much. I just rested during the weekend.
It's good. Did you get anything? Did you go anywhere good? I'm making you a co-host
Nope.
as we speak. Go ahead. Okay.
Okay. Nope, I really didn't. Well, most of the time I prefer staying at home during the weekends unless my kids would ask to go out, but until they ask, we would stay at home.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. It's also a little less expensive that way too. That's what we
Yes.
do. Yeah. Same here. Absolutely. I like it. I like it. I like it. Oh, it's good to see your face, Andrea. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for dealing with me when I wake up and have, oh my God, I'm leaving tomorrow. What's happening? And I like start to
Don't
freak
worry,
out.
Nick. I'm used to it.
You are awesome. You are awesome. Good morning, Alex Shuck. How are you, my friend?
Good morning, Nick. I am doing well, thank you.
Give me your check-in, up, down, and a win from this week or weekend.
Well, the win has to be this past week was amazing. On Tuesday, I flew down to Orlando to get together with. So Kathy was already down there with our daughter who lives there, and then our other daughter who lives in New York was there as well. So I joined them on Tuesday. I was there Tuesday to Friday, had an awesome time, and then Saturday morning I drove my daughter who lives in New York back to New York. And I went to a baseball game on Saturday because I'm a big Mets fan. Don't tell anybody.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. Okay.
Yeah. And then yesterday she got amazing tickets to Hamilton, so we saw the matinee performance for Hamilton, which was amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Wow.
It was a great week. Great week.
That's unbelievable, man. That's awesome. Yeah, you got it. You're a little lighter. You're a little lighter today. I like it.
I'm lighter. Oh, am I losing my tan already?
Both. Yeah, a little bit of both. Did you enjoy Hamilton?
Did I enjoy it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's the best show I've ever seen, hands down by far. I did see it once before when it was here in Boston, but I had never seen it on Broadway in New York. And
Yeah.
man, it's just intense. It's amazing.
They crushed it, right? Fun fact.
Oh yeah.
This is for everybody too. A member of our tribe is one of the co-creators of the show Hamilton. A lot of you guys in the real estate world might know Matt Pacini, and he and his wife were one of the first producers and creators of that show. that of course, took off, made a bazillion dollars. And I had to ask him, I'm like, what's it like to be a producer of like one of the biggest shows ever created? He's like, you haven't seen the 35 that went dark. I thought that was a great answer. It took him like 36 shows to get to this place, and millions and millions and millions of losses to get to one winner. I thought that was really cool. So yeah.
Mm.
Well,
Yeah.
that's perseverance right there.
It is. Yeah, I love it. So he's in the real estate world. You guys might know him, but it's funny. I'm also the only one in the entire world that I just, even though it's good rap, I just can't. I'm trying to enjoy it. I'm like, oh, it's understandable. It's not like the new rap, which is like completely unintelligible. Like, I just can't. I'm just not. Give me the Greatest Showman every day of the week. Best music I've ever heard. And then you move me into a rap place, which is a beautiful and historical, and I'm like, nah, I just can't.
Yeah. Have you seen the show?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you
I had
have.
to see it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm the only one in the world, though. I know I'm the oddity. Everyone else is like in love with the show. So
It's okay. We still love you, Nick.
yeah, it's a good thing I'm not the filter, right? That makes that work or not work. So that's good. Beautiful. Brandon Cormier, good morning to you, my friend.
Hello, what's up, Nick?
Good morning. I've never seen you. Where's this place now? I'm usually in the mechanic shop or in your car. What's this?
This is my new place in Clinton.
All right.
Got my racing simulator over there.
Racing simulator. Oh my God, I love it.
It's got like the seat and steering wheel, whole setup.
Do you practice in your off time too?
I haven't lately, but yeah, I have the VR and everything. So I have the Oculus Rift hooked up to it, so it like feels like you're in a real car, and you can like peek your head out the window. It's legit.
Wow. That's cool. That's probably what I need to start with instead of just screaming like a little baby, being like, "This is fun, wee!" As long as I don't have to kill anybody or I smash into people. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. How about you, my friend? Up, down, and a win from this week or weekend?
Ooh, I'd say my up and down was my 100K race. So it was really cool experience, ton of fun. Didn't go anything as planned. I was like perfectly prepped up going to it, and I don't know, I got like a stomach bug on Friday,
Oh,
and I couldn't eat anything. So from mile 1 to 40, I couldn't eat one thing, and then like at mile 40, I had a couple oranges and some Oreos, but at that point I was too fucked up. My calves like locked up at mile 20, and I had to stop at mile 55, but hell, I still made it pretty far. And I know what to work on next time besides my diet and trying to avoid being sick. But no, it was a cool experience.
wow. That's so for those of you tuning in, Brandon completed or almost completed. We're gonna say almost completed 100K, right? 100K. This is like just screaming at me while you're talking. Why do you think that happened to your body right before the race?
I don't know. Everything was going perfectly fine. I was all prepped, feeling good, stretched out, and then my gut just did a 180, and I couldn't eat anything the day before, couldn't eat anything the day of.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know. I guess it's a lesson in like no matter how much you can prepare, life is just gonna kick you in the balls anyways. But
No, well, that's one way to look at it. The word there's a word that's screaming in my right ear right now. The word is acceptance. This was like a beautiful lesson, especially for you, that's just coming through, right? Like where you are one of the most peak performers I think anyone will ever encounter, at least for me in my life, right? And there's certain, like I've gone through seasons, right, of peak performance and seasons of rest. For you, you're in your season of peak everything, peak body, peak business, right? Peak hobbies, like peak relationships. So like while you're in this peak, it's funny because, well, what lesson can we teach him? Acceptance, patience, acceptance, patience. The acceptance
and
is
it's
a
okay
lot louder
because
than patience, though.
in
Yeah.
any normal situation, I would have been super bummed out. Like I just drove 9 hours. I fucking kicked my ass for like 12, 13, 14 hours of running through the mountains, and then like I ended up failing anyways. No, normally, like we were talking about before, I would have just been super hard on myself for that, and like I don't know, I accepted it. It was fun. I learned a shit ton.
Ah,
I learned so much about what I need to work on besides just trying not to be sick.
it's beautiful, man. There was the acceptance. There's the acceptance. So what happened when you left? What did you go do? Did you treat yourself to something, or you just went home? What happened?
I just ate. I ate like 5,000 calories worth of food, a bunch of beer, and passed right out.
Excellent. We're seeing some comments in the chat. Brandon, you were a beast. I would cry at mile 2. And then Alex, I would cry at mile 1. Yep, yep, yep. All of that's true. Oh, that's awesome. That was a beautiful, beautiful story. While we're sharing stories and just doing some connection, as per usual, everybody, for the morning Monday, type in the chat something that made you feel pride, joy, love, gratitude for this past week or weekend. What's one thing that made you just feel elated with yourself, with someone else, with what happened? Type into that chat anything that could be. This is how we begin to raise our vibration for the week ahead. Um, I don't think we can top that story, Brandon. Jeez, I'm trying to think. Last, yeah, like well, it was like a month. Was it a month ago? You ran up Washington. It's like usually there's just like a random like check in. Like Brandon's like, oh, I did something that no one else in their right minds would ever do in this lifetime whatsoever. Ah, no big deal.
Quite normal.
You are amazing. You are a beast, as they're saying, dude. I'm so proud of you, even just for your
I
acceptance
appreciate
and
it.
your self-love. After that happened to you, I know exactly where you would have been, because I would have been in that same place 10 years ago. And just having that love for yourself, knowing what you have to work on, and coming back to the table later. And if you achieve everything you set
Absolutely.
out to do, Brandon, like that's kind of a boring life, isn't it?
Oh yeah, no, I'm still coming back. I'm gonna finish it next year.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. I want some posts in the chat. We have a new face this morning that keeps popping in. Mr. George Burdos, it's wonderful to see your face, my friend. Are you in a place where you can unmute? We can have you chat a little bit? Maybe he's at work. I'm not sure. All right. If you get a chance to unmute, we'd love to hear a story from you and a check-in. This is the Monday Manifest call with some mindset thrown in. I love it. Michelle has some gratitude thing. 2 things. Started journaling again to gain focus. Oh, Michelle, that feels so good to hear you say that specifically. I started journaling again to gain focus. Feels awesome. I had an awesome time with your nephews yesterday. Yay. Good job, auntie / mom.
Thank you.
Yay. How about a check-in, Michelle? Up, down, and a win from you for the weekend.
Let's see. I knock on wood, hopefully secured a memory place for my mother. They're assessing her this morning, so that's why I'm not on camera. And just in a better place. Like I said, journaling has given me clarity. My meditations, obviously, I'm really good with those. They're helping. So I feel like I'm going in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, we're always going in the right direction. You're just choosing to see the right direction right
Well,
now.
yeah,
I love that.
Then there's that. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, awesome, Michelle. I love that. That feels good.
Thank you.
That
Yeah, I
feels
already had my down for 2 weeks, so it was time for me to come up.
good. There's just on that, because this just popped up in my head. Have you guys all heard? So elasticity, right, is a thing. Elasticity, I'm trying to remember where the first time I ever heard that word was. I think it was probably like 6th grade science or something. I don't really remember, but you all have heard of that, elastics, elasticity. And I heard a talk end of last week that talks about, we talk a lot about, this is just a rant. We're going to go in real quick. And you know what? No, I'm going to hold on the rant. I'll come back to the rant. I saw George step in. George, you're in a place now where you can chat?
Yeah, I was sitting in my truck and it was in safe driving mode, which means I can only watch and not listen.
That's
Listen
true.
and not
Doesn't like
speak.
you to participate or have Zoom calls while you're driving. I know.
So I had to walk away from my mobile office.
Oh, I love it. George, it's wonderful to see your face, my friend. Why don't you give everybody kind of a rundown as to like a 1 minute who George is? What's George's identity?
George's identity is very simple. I'm a 63-year-old builder that is doing his thing with other investors, and I live in Randolph with my wife, and I'm very grateful for her support. And I'm always looking to network with other people, and the universe is calling me to great and wonderful things. If I could just get the guy in the mirror to like get on board with it.
Ah, that's beautiful, George. What kind of it sounds like you've done a lot of work on yourself already. What kind of things have you done on your self-work?
Lately I've been listening to some YouTube videos about living from victory, not for victory, meaning living with the end in mind and not wondering why things aren't happening. Trying to live in the present moment and change my habits.
Yeah, beautiful. There's that word again. It's coming in my right ear. Acceptance. Acceptance. George, that's beautiful. You've known me, George, for probably 10 or 12 years, like a lot of people here in this group has. And I think you'd agree. I mean, we haven't really chatted recently, but you'll see how much a difference it makes when we drop all attachment to outcomes, right? When we start living by our process and living with who we are as a code, and then everything else continues to fall into place once we really, really focus on doing nothing else except truly, truly, truly learning to love ourselves. That seems to be the pattern that I'm, and we just lose that. So many of us have lost that love for ourselves, and it's not really even our fault, right? It's all the stuff. Well, you'll hear about, George, in this group over and over again, right? It's who we were as a child from 0 to 7 years old, where all of the stories, all the programs, all the subconscious stuff just entered into our brains because we were just doing anything we could to absorb, to be accepted, right? To be safe with our tribe, with our family, with our friends group, with our church groups. So what do we absorb with no filter, no consciousness saying, yes, that's right, no, that's wrong? And those created, right, the underlying stories as to how we operate today and what we do and what we don't do, why we procrastinate, why we're scared sometimes, why we cry or get really angry for no reason at like random small things. And in this group, we dive into a lot of that, and we start to work on ourselves to become truly, truly, truly unlimited souls. So I'm just so grateful that you're here, George. Thank you for sharing and for sharing your energy with us, dude. Anything you want to share on one up, one down, and a win from the past week or so?
Yeah, it's a recurring win. The support of my wife. Couldn't do it without her.
Yeah. Yeah, some of our wives are saints. Like not even nice people, outright friggin' saints.
Well, by the world standards, she would have kicked me to the curb probably 15 years ago. But she didn't, and here we are, working together to try to make things happen.
Yeah. And I know a little bit, George. I won't get too much into your story because it's your story to share, but I do know that you've been through some things in your life as well, right? That have left a lasting impression upon who you are today. We've shared that a little bit, right?
I can share it now if you.
It's up to you. You don't need to. Go ahead though if you want.
I kind of feel as though I do. It's kind of one of the things I've got to overcome. Back in 2001, when I was running for state rep, I got into a bad car accident and lost my license for 10 years. And I was really feeling unworthy for this long, long time. And sometimes it still crops back up because I put a man into his eternal rest with no drugs or alcohol when I rear-ended him on the highway. And it's been something I've been struggling with for a long time. But I keep moving forward and try not to dwell on that. And there's a reason why I didn't go to jail. There's a reason why I'm here talking about it. And the watchword for me is perseverance and unstoppable and an overcomer.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, George.
So,
yeah. Relentless, unstoppable. These are your words. Perseverance. Beautiful words. I just want to really add this in. I really need you to start adding love into reminding you, right? That no matter what happened, there was even an agreement. There was even an agreement. Whether you guys believe in this or not, this is for all the people watching the recording, that your interchange with that soul was what was meant to be, both for them to do work and for you to have this work in this life. Talk about acceptance and self-love. This is one of the hardest things I think anyone would ever have to go through. And the fact that you're here today sharing the story and you're on the path of self-love and self-acceptance, and you're on the path of development and just still trying to provide service and help people in every way that you can, because I know your heart, George. You're beautiful. It's absolutely fucking beautiful. I'm so, so, so happy that you're here and that you shared that story. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. That's beautiful. At the risk of sounding crazy, most of you have heard that story before, right? The things that I have seen in my journey now don't make me just read books and like think that that's a really interesting idea about reincarnation, or think that that's an interesting idea about soul contracts and Akashic records. And I'm not going to go on a big soapbox right now. Just know I can send you guys books to read and things to listen to, but when you've seen it, when you've done some really, really, really deep spiritual work and you are taking to places and you're able to witness certain things that will change you as a person, I no longer have faith that that is true. I know for a fact that all that is true, and that we are all put on this plane, this one life of many, to work through certain contracts with other people, with other souls, for ourselves, to then grow and expand and enlighten for who we are. And there is nothing that happens as a coincidence. Every single thing is happening for reasons that are unknowns to us, but most of them we actually agreed to before we even entered this body. Fucking crazy. I'll leave that there for now, since I probably lost all the people who are, well.
No, I read that in a book. So I'd have to pull up what book it was, but it was like, there's this bus stop that we're all at, and it's like, hey, I want to learn about forgiveness, or in this lifetime, I want to learn about X, Y, and Z. So I'm going to need someone to kill me in a car accident. Who's coming with me? Like, who's the one that's going to do this? And the other person, soul, raises their hand and they're like, cool, I'm in. And I was just like, wow, that's a really interesting way to look at all this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really crazy and it's interesting. Thank you, Christina, for sharing. For those of you who are interested, I'll share the book openly here, and I'll put a link in the Life Unlimited WhatsApp chat. One of the books that changed me, I listened to a lot of Dolores Cannon, but I wasn't quite ready in my journey yet to like really, really absorb her, right? So she was the first one that talked so much about reincarnation and what we're here for and soul contracts. But then I read one that was more science-based, and he was a doctor and he was a hypnotist, that were taking people through past life experiences, whether he even believed in them or not, to help them go through what if they were past lives, great, but if they weren't, he was helping them relieve trauma. So he would take them through these past life experiences. And then one client that he had started to continue to speak after the death had occurred. And there was an interesting, I feel like I'm being sucked like a vacuum into this thing. And so he kept talking to this person, and this person kept sharing what was happening. And then he decided that's interesting. So he decided to take another client, walk them through their past death, and then have them go through. And they continued to speak with what happened in between. And after having, I think, 250 clients, he case studied all of them and then recorded 75 of them. And of course, the clients do not even remember what it's like when they come out of it. So he's recorded it all as proof and evidence. And in the middle, every single one of those clients came up with the exact same stages of what happens after death and even before being reborn. And he put that in a book. The book is called, there's a couple great books in here. We can do a whole book club here for our Manifest Monday if you want. But Not Between Death and Life. That was a Dolores Cannon book. It was called The Journey of Souls by Dr. Michael Newton. I'll post a link in the chat. But that one really, really, really changed me. And after I finished that book, I then had my experiences where that completely made me not question anything anymore. So I wanted to go back to what we chatted about earlier with elasticity. Elasticity. Remembering that while there are a lot of things that are like predestined for us in this lifetime that we are going to go through, that are there for us to grow as a soul, as an individual, right, as a person. Elasticity is also a thing. A lot of us, again, there's some new people on this call, so a lot of you don't. I started the Manifest Monday Mindset calls for me. And if no one joined me, I was going to be on here ranting for myself. So I appreciate that some of you are here with me. But there was a part of me, right, that was choosing every single day to kind of, my mind would wake me up. My mind would start the anxiety spiral. You know, a lot of times about scarcity or not having things or not being where I wanted. Like all of those things were just normal for me. I for 42 years, that voice was just always there. Even when I journaled, even when I meditated, even when I did a whole bunch of things. So I became conscious and aware that those thoughts, right, were not me. That was just the computer program. So I then had to become conscious of, how do I stop the computer program? Well, I'm realizing that I get to choose every single day, right? Paddle in the sand. I get to choose what I am excited about, what I am thinking about. Am I going to choose the negative or am I going to choose the positive? And there's this concept called elasticity. Some people choose to live in that darkness. They choose to live in that fear. They choose to live in that anxiety. They choose to live in that scarcity. They choose to live. These are all these trigger words that I had for so many years. And then the moment that they understand and are aware that they get to choose something else. Some of them have been living in that pattern for so long that they're not even aware of what that something else feels like. That's where things like deep yoga, meditation, hypnosis, plant medicine, that's where those things can really help, because you can start, some people don't even know what they don't know. But there's this concept called elasticity. Elasticity, some people say, you can choose to believe it or not, that the harder that we've gone into that darkness, the more that we've held on to all of these rough stories, thinking that this is what we need to do, right? We're human, so therefore suffering, right? If you're in the Buddhist culture, right? To live is to suffer, right? If you're in that place, the more that you embrace the suffering, the more that you embrace that darkness, the more that you feel it means that you pulled yourself back like that elastic, like a bow with a bow and arrow, right? Back, 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 back. And the more that you've embraced it, the further you're going to be shot into the light. I don't know if that's true, but that is one of the concepts of elasticity. Now, I hesitate to share that because I know there's at least one or two people that are on this call listening that are also addicted to some of those old stories, just like I was. And what I want everyone to understand, though, in these calls, right, is that it's all a choice. Every single day is the choice. We have that divine choice every single day to wake up and choose our heart, or to wake up and just let the mind take us where it's going to go. So it's all a choice. Wow. Oh my God. It's already 9:30. I had like 3 more rants all lined up. We could just keep going. Does anyone want to share anything before we jump into our meditation? Let's see. I saw a couple new people today. That's awesome. I'm just going to thank the new people really quick. I have one person who's on here right now. I'm going to just call out. I'm just going to say this. Mariana, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this on the recording, I see you. I am so unbelievably proud. Ooh, is she there?
Yes, I am watching you and
She
listening.
is watching. Yay, she's here. I'll just say this. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to say anything. I just want to let you know that I see you. I am so unbelievably proud of you. I'm feeling everything. And is there anything you want to share with us, or do you want to just kind of be quiet today? You can do either one.
Probably just quiet today.
Yeah, that's okay. Just know that I see and I'm feeling everything. And I think I'm actually even helping release some things from you. I don't know. Well, I do know how that's possible, but
I'm going through a lot of emotional
yes.
work this week.
Yes.
Last week, yes.
And all I'll say is embrace it. Don't fight it. This is all coming up for a reason, right? This is all coming up for beautiful, beautiful reasons.
Yeah.
Most of it's coming up to say goodbye.
I hope so. I just feel like there's a lot more to
Of course. And you started this beautiful, beautiful process and journey to relieve. Imagine all this weight you've been carrying for so long, right? It's so freaking heavy. Talk about a big onion, right? They talk about onions. That's a big onion. And you started to take some layers off little by little by little. All of us have this onion. Every single one of us have this onion. And we start to get rid of some things and feel some things and grow, right? And there's another layer, and there's another layer, and there's another layer.
Yeah. And I'm kind of getting into so many different things that it's just right now I'm not understanding why things are happening and what to do about them. So
yeah.
I guess I just need to sit back and see what's coming next.
And just to remind your words, why things are happening and what to do next, those are things coming from your mind, right?
Yeah.
That's not necessarily your heart. So it's okay. Your brain's trying to understand, and it actually won't understand because only your body and your heart are the ones understanding what's happening right now. Your brain does not have to understand what's happening for you to be making significant progress. So you're embracing it and you're letting it come up and you're not fighting it. That's all you have to do right now. That's all you have to do. If you want to fight it sometimes, right? Like Bobby said, give it 3 minutes every hour. Okay, 3 minutes. Let's have it. Let's feel it. Whatever this is coming up. Let's let it go. And then 3 minutes, like, okay, that was 3 minutes. We'll wait another hour. Let the brain come back to play. We'll work for an hour. We'll come back for 3 more minutes. We'll feel whatever you have to come up with in an hour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do that because it's really hard to remember that when you are in a working situation, right? It's like your brain is working, it has to work.
Yeah.
Just to let it it's not easy.
It's not easy. That's why not many people choose to do this deep work, right? What if our only job is, for everybody listening, what if our only job in this lifetime, right? It's not to make $1 million. It's not to have the steady W-2 job. And it's not even to have kids or to raise them well. Like, what if our only job is to remember who we are? We made the agreement to forget who we were when we came into this life. Earth's the hardest plane to live in. What if our only job is just to remember who we are? And by doing that, we have to feel and feel and feel to release and feel to release. No more triggers. We can get rid of triggers. We can get rid of wants and desires. We can get rid of all these things. And once we get rid of the negative, we start to have unlimited access to all of it. And for the new people coming in and the people watching the recording, right? The reason we do this is not to just go into the woo-woo stuff. The reason we do this is because when I do this, right? When I start my week with intention and start my week with raising my vibration, I attract better energy. I attract stability. I attract better partners. I attract better money. I attract better deals. Like, if our brain is so focused on production and money and earning, then the only way to get that, the grind will happen. The grind can get you so far, but once we shift into the heart and let the heart lead us. So going back to our reminders too, before we we end with our meditation, the 3 questions that you can all ask yourselves today, that we remind you every week to remind you. So every day you can ask yourself these questions. Number 1, how do I show up better for me today? How do I show up better for me today? What act of self-love? What can I give myself? What rest? What does your body need? What does your heart need? Number 2, who else do I choose to show up today to connect with in a meaningful way? Partner, family member, team member, employee, the garbage man, garbage lady. Sorry. Oh, God forbid. Right? Who do I choose to show up for today? And the third one, this is the tricky one. What's one step I can take today that moves me forward to that which brings me the most excitement or passion in my life? What's one step I can take today to move me forward to that which brings me the most excitement or passion in my life? And if you don't know what that is, maybe your first step is to meditate and say, God, what did bring me passion and excitement when I was a kid? It gets me excited, knowing that it's probably not another real estate deal. That's sometimes fun. Probably not, right? Going out and how can I cram in 8 more hours into my W-2 job? Right? What could that be? And there's a 4th piece to those questions, which I never really added, but I keep alluding to. Without any attachment to the outcome or expectation. That's the 4th unsaid piece. So we move forward to that which brings us the most excitement or passion in our lives, but we have 0 attachment to any outcome. And when something else is more exciting and gives us more passion, we move to that. It's pretty freaking cool if that's our only job in this life. Oh, God, I love you people. Thank you for coming on today and sharing your energy. For those of you who want to join me, we're going to start or end with a meditation. Take a deep breath in. Dear God, dear universe, dear creators, dear spirit guides all around us, we thank you for giving us another amazing opportunity today to have woken up, to experience life as we know it, to have this body, to have this mind, to have these feelings. We get to experience all of it. Experience is the essence of life. Experience in all of its forms. Today's another day. We get to create anything we want to create for ourselves and for others. We get to co-create with other loving souls and individuals. We get to choose how we act and what we feel like today. We get to choose love instead of fear. We choose abundance instead of scarcity. We choose joy. Today is another day that's filled with opportunity if we see it. It's all over. It is everywhere. And every single moment is another chance to turn everything around for where we want to go. I choose to act today in my best excitement and passion for my life. I choose today to show up for me, and I choose today to show up for other people that I love and care about in a deep way. And we'll seal this with a deep breath in. I love you. I love you. I love you, you guys. I'm so, so thankful. Oh, some announcements. I am going to be leaving tomorrow for 3 weeks, but I've got some recordings for you. So if you feel it, make sure you jump back in. So every Monday at 9, Andrea will post a recording. And your homework is to continue to work on yourself, but keep the chat active. What gives you gratitude? What gives you love? What gives you joy? When you word it and type it or write it in a journal, it becomes more real. A lot of you who've done vision boards know that, right? So make sure you type up, make sure we are connecting as a group. I'll be certainly posting some photos and things. But those are the next 3 weeks. And also, November, I think it's November 9th and 10th. We floated this out to a couple of the groups. It's a Friday and Saturday. I think that's what won instead of the Thursday and Friday. I've been called to do a soul purpose event. I had a similar event a long time ago done, but I've learned so many things since then. We've had a few people reach out like, what is my true passion? What am I supposed to be doing? Why are we here? Like, what is this? And in that vein, there's a couple powerful exercises. So I put together like 9 or 10 different little workshop exercises that we're going to do together over Zoom. And with that, it'll shed lots of light into who we are. And we end it with a mission statement. And we also end it with our next inspired actions to move into that, which brings us more passion and excitement in our lives. I have no other details except what I know about this event. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to toss it to, the marketing team, and they'll do what they do with it. They'll put it in like the landing page, 3D earthly thing that looks like it's a sales page, and then we'll send it out. But just know that if anybody feels called for that, it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful thing. And we're going to try to keep it as low cost as possible, just to make sure people can all experience that, because it's a beautiful thing. But that's my first announcement. You'll probably see more about it. That said, I love you all. Have a great start to the week. Remember to raise your vibrations. See you soon. See you next week.
Thank you, Nick.
Have fun.
Bye, everybody.
Have a great time.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have a blast.